Welcome to Module 13, Lesson 5. Our I CAN statement reads, I can use a protractor to accurately and precisely measure and draw angles. So in this lesson, it's going to be important for you to have a protractor so that you can solve some of these problems. Some of them a protractor to use on the page, but you need to have a plastic protractor for your own problems here. Okay, so this is a mathematical tool we'll be working on using. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our first problem here. Ricardo is a structural engineer who designs play structures. He wants to find the measure of angle EFG. A protractor is a tool for measuring the size of an angle. How can Ricardo find the measure of an angle using a protractor? Okay, so here's what a protractor looks like. We're going to use this given protractor. First, you find the vertex of the angle. Okay, so here's the vertex. The vertex is at point F. Then you place the center point of the protractor on the vertex F. Your protractor is going to have like a dot or a circle in the middle to place over that. You then align the 0 degree mark on the scale of the protractor with the ray FG. This is our opening of our angle. So it needs to be on that 0 mark so that we can find how large that angle is. If we were to put that here and have our angle like that, then we're not going to get an accurate number when we look at our protractor. We have to start at 0. Then we follow where F and E intersect at the same scale. We read the angle measure that is on the scale. If the ray is not long enough, then we can extend it. So if it only went to like here, we could draw our line longer to help us read it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so that I can read this better. Now, right here is my 90 degree mark. Okay, I know that this would be a right angle if I were to draw it. And then I have a lot of little tick marks here, right? I've got some bigger ones. And then in between each bigger one is a smaller one. Okay, so each of these larger is worth 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 until I get to 90. So that would mean that each of these little ones is worth 5. Now, my blue line is in between 30 and 40. It's less than the 35, so I can count the little tiny tick marks. And these little tiny tick marks are each worth 1. So I find that my angle is worth 32 degrees, right? It measures 32 degrees. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. Ricardo wants to sketch a new slide for the playground with an angle formed by the bottom of the slide in the ground measuring 38 degrees. How can he use a protractor to draw an angle that measures 38? So again, the first thing he has to do is line up the vertex, which will be L. We're going to draw the other side of this angle. The vertex has to line up with this circle or a dot in the middle of the protractor. All right, and then we have to line up this ray so that it's starting at 0. All right, I'm going to zoom in. It might get a little blurry, but on your page you should be able to see it. On this protractor, it gives us 2 markings, 10, 20, 30, 40, 170, 160, 150. So this is because an angle can open up either direction, right? I could start it and open it that way, but I'm not. This time I'm going to open it up the other direction. So I need to pay attention to whether it's an acute or obtuse angle to know which numbers I'm looking at. All right, so we've placed it to start at 0. Okay, I know that says 180 as well, but 0 for us here. We then need to use the same scale. So we know we're using the inside scale since we're using 0 on this side. And we need to make a point at 38 degrees. All right, I know 38 degrees is going to be between 30 and 40 degrees. And it's going to be right there. Okay, here's 40, 39, 38. All right, in order to now make our ray and we're labeling this point K, we need to now draw a straight line from point K to our vertex L. And because this is a ray, we do need to have our arrow at the end. All right, I marked mine on this one here. You can also have it down here. All right, so we should have had 38 degrees.